Good morning, this is Shelby Law with the Great Basin Fire Potential Briefing for Friday, August 7th, 2026. The main fire potential headlines for the next week include hot, dry, and breezy conditions across the north through the weekend. We have isolated scattered thunderstorms moving north into Utah and eastern Nevada today through next week. And then for fuels, we do have fuel and fire behavior advisories, two of them issued one for Utah, Nevada, and one for Southwest Idaho. Those were issued yesterday. A little more detail into those fuel and fire behavior advisories. Here we have the Utah and Nevada advisory on the left and the Southwest Idaho advisory on the right. They are issued for slightly different conditions. The Utah and Nevada advisory is still highlighting the record dryness in juniper fuel beds, leading to that extreme fire behavior and large fire growth, even after the recent monsoon moisture that we had a few weeks ago. We are looking for a little bit more moisture or some moisture to come back into these areas with this next monsoon push starting this weekend and into next week. But the moisture will be much more limited this time around and will be focused a little bit across the south there. So we're still concerned about fuels even after some monsoon moisture. Expecting those fuel beds to still present a problem to suppression efforts. For Southwest Idaho, we're highlighting the grass component up there, that is where we see those abundant grass crop, and the near record low shrub moisture up there, highlighting that extreme fire behavior and high rates of spread that we've seen on some of those fires in that area. Fire potential impacts for the next couple of days, again looking for breezy conditions across the north through the weekend, hot and dry temperatures across much of the area as well. And then the main change here is the increasing thunderstorm coverage across the southern parts of the Great Basin. We'll see a little bit better coverage today across parts of southern Nevada than we saw yesterday, but still very limited. Tomorrow we'll see the moisture moving a little bit further northward, increasing that thunderstorm coverage across southern Nevada and southwest Utah, and then a bigger push on Sunday up into Utah and eastern Nevada. These storms will be on the drier side, especially with that initial push of moisture into the area. Some storms may begin to moisten up, especially across the south. Yesterday was a pretty quiet day for precip and lightning. We did see a few storms developing later in the day across far southwest Utah, the Arizona Strip, and southern Nevada. Light precip totals with those storms. Initial attack activity yesterday was fairly light with 16 new fires for 120 acres. And then we had over 20,000 acres of large fire growth on our ongoing large incidents. Smoke continues to impact the Great Basin with the heaviest smoke across Idaho into western Wyoming, and then some decent smoke as well across central and southern Utah with the wide mouth 2 fire. Fire danger conditions continue to increase across much of the region, especially the north and western areas where many of those PSAs have popped over the 97th percentile. Here we're just looking at the trend for the Payette PSA here, where those values are going to continue to increase the next couple of days under those hot and dry conditions, and then tapering off a bit as the temperatures come down just a bit early next week as the ridge weakens. Further south, we do expect to see some decreasing values with a little bit of moisture starting to come back up. Really started yesterday and will continue through the weekend into the first part of next week. Satellite imagery this morning showing high pressure ridge in place across the southern Great Basin, allowing that moisture to return back to parts of Utah and eastern Nevada this weekend into early next week. The upper level pattern continues to show the ridge of high pressure in place across the Great Basin for the next couple of days. We have some breezy westerly flow in place over Idaho into western Wyoming, where we do have high risk issued for burn environment and wind triggers, as some of the areas we'll see wind speeds just below red flag warning criteria. That really continues across the north through the weekend. And then further south, we do show the risk of that moisture starting to move up northward through Utah and into eastern Nevada. Sunday is a pretty big day as that moisture makes a more significant push further northward for more widespread drier type thunderstorms across Utah and eastern Nevada on Sunday. Closer look at the winds are shown here. We can see some breezy conditions across northern Nevada up into Idaho and western Wyoming. These winds are going to be maybe 20 to 30 miles an hour, so not terribly strong, but definitely very dry, and temperatures are going to be quite hot this weekend up there. So really wanting to highlight that risk. Otherwise, further south, we do see gusty outflow winds expected with any of the thunderstorms as they move north through eastern Nevada and Utah. Minimum relative humidities are still quite low across the area. We do see them start to increase just a bit over the higher elevations of Utah, really beginning Saturday into Sunday. Not a significant increase, but definitely higher than what we have been seeing. Precipitation forecast for the next couple of days shows that increasing moisture across southern Nevada and far southwest Utah, the Arizona Strip today. Tomorrow it'll move a little bit further northward, and then Sunday we can expect thunderstorms across much of the state of Utah and into parts of northeast Nevada. As we head into the first part of next week, high pressure still dominates the picture, although the ridge will weaken a bit as we head into the middle part of next week. Little low pressure system moving to our north will bring some elevated winds to Idaho potentially. As far as our 7-day outlook goes, we don't have much high risk for the first part of next week. Some of our zones in Utah and southern Nevada will be popping down into the yellow category as multiple days of thunderstorms and slightly higher RHs will decrease the overall large fire potential temporarily there. Looking at the winds for the first part of next week, not looking for anything too significant at the moment. We'll keep an eye on it. Looks like the winds do pick up a bit in western Idaho towards Wednesday as that little low moves to the north. Relative humidities do continue to come up slightly, especially in Utah with the day after day of isolated thunderstorms. Not looking for a significant increase again, but definitely higher than what we have seen. The precipitation forecast for the first part of next week shows some isolated showers and thunderstorms, mainly over the higher elevations of Utah through midweek. Maximum temperatures are going to be hot this weekend. Today and tomorrow, probably seeing the most widespread hot temperatures with most of those highs near 100 degrees. As we head into the first part of next week, the ridge weakening a little bit will allow temperatures to come down, back down into the 90s, especially across the north. To summarize things, here we have the 7-day significant fire potential outlook showing the high risk for elevated winds and dry conditions across Idaho through the weekend. And then we see the threat of mixed wet dry, but kind of on the dry side to begin with, those thunderstorms moving further northward today, Saturday, and into Sunday, Sunday being the most widespread day of lightning activity. And then some decreasing fire potential possibly in Utah and southern Nevada as those storms moisten up just a bit. Possibly on Thursday we may see some thunderstorms moving a little bit further northward on along the Sierra front for some high risk potential there as well. The extended forecast for August 12th through the 16th shows above normal temperatures continuing across the Great Basin, but we do also see this above normal signal for precipitation over much of the Great Basin, especially Utah and Nevada. That concludes today's briefing. Please check back tomorrow for the latest updates.